Hi everyone, it's Nick here once again from TrainAid, and in today's video we are looking at the Level 4 Certificate in Education and Training, and we are looking at question 1.2, which is to review a minimum of 4 different types of assessment methods. This is my second assessment method example, so I'm just going to explain about the assessment methods I use within my own teaching and training. And as a reminder, for this assignment question, you can select any 4 assessment methods that you wish. I am going to explain about peer assessment. So what is peer assessment first of all? So this is a teaching method whereby learners will review and evaluate each other's work, contributions or performances using a set criteria or standards. So typically this is where learners are going to be working within pairs. Perhaps they swap their assignments, they hand over their assignments to each other, and they are going to review each other's work, and they're going to provide them with a progress update. They could, of course, actually physically mark their classmates' assignments and give that verbal feedback as well. I think this is a really effective tool because it really does help to promote how to give constructive feedback to one another. I always think that learners listen more closely to each other than they do with the teacher anyway. So I use peer assessment, peer feedback all the time within my teaching as well. It could also be a practical task as well. So a learner could perform a skill and then a classmate reviews their performance as well. So it's not just written, it can be a physical task as well. Just in terms of the strengths then, what are my strengths? I mean, in terms of the first one, it improves communication and feedback skills. So if you have 2 learners working together, they are going to listen to each other, they're going to show empathy, they're going to give each other feedback. It promotes confidence, team cohesion, just the general communication skills to provide that constructive feedback as well. And learners need to think about the best way to give feedback. And I think, once they've given this method a go, they're more likely going to use peer feedback again in the future. It's going to be water off a duck's back. They're going to use peer feedback again and again. So it does improve class and team cohesion. Another strength as well, it improves multiple perspectives. And what I mean by that is that perhaps myself, the teacher, I have had perhaps a certain style, or if I'm looking for something in particular, then learners, classmates can kind of give their take on things, and they might pick up on things that I might not have seen, for example, or a quality that the learner is showing. So I think that with sort of teacher feedback, a lot of learners can become quite reliant on the teacher to provide feedback. And I always try and do peer assessment. So learners are more accountable to each other. They can really provide fantastic feedback as well. And also peer feedback can help to weed out any mistakes as well. There could be like spelling mistakes or anything which is on the assignment. And one of the peers can pick that out, they can change it. So when it comes to the teacher marking, then kind of these mistakes have been ironed out as well. So peer feedback is really good and useful for that method. Just in terms of limitations, well, you have to be aware of bias and favoritism. So some learners, of course, might be working within friendship groups. They might be biased and they might not want to hurt their fellow classmates' feelings. That's fair enough. So learners have to be objective. They have to know the standards or criteria. They kind of need to know what makes a pass mark, because they could be quite vague. They could say, very well done, you're doing great, when they're actually their work isn't that great. So you kind of need to use peer assessment a bit cautiously, to be honest, as well. Poor quality of feedback. So learners could be a bit vague. They could say things such as good job, keep going. Doesn't really give their classmate direction. So they could be a bit confused on the feedback as well. They could be unsure what progress they've made as well. So learners need to know the qualification, what makes a pass, as mentioned, and what is a good assignment, for example, as well. So I would say use peer assessment quite carefully. Another sort of limitation is learners could be hypercritical. They could destroy their classmates' confidence as well, and we don't want to do that. So when providing feedback, you have to set the ground rules and just remind learners, of course, to be kind and conscientious there. So that's my second of 4 examples. You can, of course, write about peer assessment or any assessment method that you use within your own teaching practice. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the video has been useful.